There are thousands of AI chatbots out there, so how do you know which one you should use? I've gone through and tested all of the major ones, and I'm going to rank them from worst to best so you can stop wasting your time on the wrong one. I'm Blake, an AI engineer based down in Christchurch, and I've helped over 15 businesses across New Zealand work smarter, not harder with AI. First up, we're going to be talking about Meta's AI suite, mainly their Llama models, which are all open source, which is really good because you can run it locally on your own devices. However, in terms of benchmarks, they are really far behind. The only good avenue there is throughput, so how fast these tokens are coming out of it. But in most of these applications, if the thinking and reasoning behind the scenes isn't good enough, then it being fast at responding isn't useful. So I'm going to be putting it in C tier here. They do have their Meta AI app and also on their browser website, but again, it's not really that useful compared to these other tools I'm going to be talking about later on. Next up, we have Copilot, and if you are in the Microsoft environment, it is obviously significantly better than the average user just using it on a personal account. The main reason here is because it natively connects into your Outlook, your SharePoint, all your information that's already inside of there, so it's quite useful. But on that same point, it is really limited compared to the other models. Behind the scenes, it is the ChatGPT.5 model, but there are some different quirks and guardrails behind it, so it minimizes what you can actually do. I know Claude is becoming also part of it in some of the applications, but again, it is quite limited and a bit far behind. So what I'm going to be doing is putting this in A tier if you are in the kind of Microsoft environment in your business, but if for a personal account, I'd probably put it in the B tier. Now, the most known AI tool has got to be ChatGPT. Apparently, weekly 10% of the world's population is now using it, which is a mind-blowing statistic. And it's really been the driver for a lot of this AI innovation that we're seeing. The problem is that recently they are falling behind. A while ago, they were pretty at the top for benchmarks, but a lot of the Google models that have coming out, or even the Chinese models, are beating it out. Also, the problem here is it seems like they've got too many different views of what they want to go forward with. They've got their Codex tool, which is a bit average. They had Atlas, which is their agentic browser, whereas they could be really focusing more on their core model. You're also a lot more locked into what they actually allow you to connect to in terms of other software like Gmail, Outlook, for example, and exactly what you can actually do inside of that. A lot of other tools allow full customizability, so you can connect to any MCP server or API and read and write, whereas ChatGPT, they're controlling that quite heavily. You have the developer mode, but then it doesn't save any of your conversations and reference from there. Overall, I'm going to be putting it in A tier ahead of Copilot. It's not a tool that I actually use anymore. I've canceled my subscription recently, but it's still very good for the average person. So the next one we're going to be talking about is Qwen, which is from Alibaba, built that, and it's fully open source as well, like DeepSeek in the similar vein. And it's actually crushing on some of the benchmarks, kind of in the top 5 places for text and coding. The cool thing about it, also being open source, means you can run it locally on your computer, and so that gives that benefit there. It does have a mobile app and website page that you can access the model from. However, if you don't speak Chinese, it's a little bit harder to navigate. It's not impossible. For that reason, I'll be chucking it in the B tier. Next up is my absolute favorite tool. Everyone knows where I'm going to be putting this, up in the S tier, and this is my absolute go-to for everything now. Main reason for this, we've got Claude Code in there, so that allows me to develop websites, custom applications, scripts really well. I then also have the base Claude where I can go in and connect all my different server MCPs into my chatbot, allowing me to connect from Gmail to Notion to Xero, even for my invoicing. And so my Claude becomes my all-in-one hub for my business and personal life. They also have skills, which are like custom GPTs, but you can call it all within that one chat window. Instead of constantly context switching into your different GPTs, if you want to chain them together, skills allow you to call it all from that one chat window. And so you can go from your YouTube scripting to your invoicing without context switching. Even if you are in the Microsoft or Google environment, I'd still recommend checking out Claude because it can connect to all of your different software. Large language models are just prediction at the end of the day. The easier they can connect into your business information, the better the outputs are going to be moving forward. Rather than you having to copy and paste information in and out, if they can directly connect and pull that information, it is so much easier and faster to get things done. Of course, in a safe environment. So the next one I'm going to be talking about is DeepSeek, and this is a pretty well-known one. It's out of China, it's fully open source. And the reason for this one being so well known is because when it was released, it was pretty much on par, if not better than the current ChatGPT model at the time. But they trained it and developed this for a fraction of the cost and it really kind of put those investors into the AI bubble a bit scared in that way. And I remember share prices tanked a bit for that portion. And so it's been quite interesting to see that unfortunately they haven't been able to do much more since that initial release. And for that reason, at this stage, I'll be putting them in C tier. If it was almost a year ago now, it would be up in the S or A tier. Next up is Google's Gemini, and this one has got to be S tier, just behind Claude as well. The main reason for this is you have your Gemini Flash, which is your really quick answer ones. You have your Pro, which is really good at deep reasoning. What I've also found is it's one of the best models at vision. So if I upload a photo or give it a video as reference, it can interpret what's going on and actually answer questions or help me out. But it also has Nano Banana Pro, which is the best video image editing tool out there at the moment. I can upload a picture of myself, ask it to remove my glasses, put a red hat on. It can do it without distorting my face. A lot of the other AI tools, yes, they can put the hat on me, but then my face looks all muddled up, whereas Nano Banana Pro keeps it relatively perfect. They also have their VO 3.1 model, which is one of the best video generation tools out there. It can do native audio, so I can create a video of a real estate agent walking through a house, speaking all through it, and it sounds perfect while also matching to the video. Next up is Grok, which is Elon Musk or XAI's AI model. And this one has probably been in the most controversies out of any AI model that's out there. This is a range of its outputs or what people are getting it to generate or what it's saying. And so that side of things is pretty bad. However, in terms of the benchmarks, it does pretty well. Often when the newest model comes out, it was number 1 at one point, but often it's sitting around the top 5, top 10. So in that regard, it's all right. If you're looking at pulling information or extracting information out of X or Twitter, I think it's kind of the best one to use because it's natively inbuilt and trained on that information. Otherwise, I tend to avoid it. So I'll be putting that in B tier. Next one I'll be talking about is Kimi, which is another Chinese model that is open source, allowing you to run it wherever you'd like. They've recently released their K2.5 model, which some of the benchmarks show it is the best AI model that's currently out there, especially in the coding and vision space. But again, when models release, it takes a little while for us to actually go through and test them to verify those results. So at the moment, I'd be rating that just at a B to the B tier, if not at the A tier. Last up is Perplexity, and this is the best tool you can be using in terms of AI for research. And so the whole pitch of Perplexity is using that for finding information online, whether that's financial, sports, analytics. It is really, really good at pulling back all of that information, summarizing it, providing it to you in a nice report format, but also being really careful on the referencing. A big problem we had early with AI is it would make up links to URLs, newsletters, all sorts of things. Perplexity was the first one really that solved that problem and was really useful and reliable in that way. So if you're looking at research, I'd definitely use this tool. That's why I'd probably be sitting it at an A tier, just in between ChatGPT and Copilot. Overall, that is my tier list for chatbots going into 2026. I'm really keen to hear your thoughts in the comments below. I'm Blake, an AI engineer based out in Christchurch, and if you're looking to get your business working smarter, not harder, with the help of AI, reach out in the first link below.